Alright, I will be start with Panganjali Umat, Swastiastu. So for this time, I will be explanation on one of topic morpheme. Before that, I will be introduce myself the first. So my name is Niputu Yulianti Sari with number student 23 111 So in here I have a four table of contents. Their definition, functions, types, and then examples. Let's move to definition. So what is morpheme? So morpheme is the smallest unit of meaning or grammatical function in the language. Unlike a word, a morpheme cannot always stand alone as an independent word. Morphemes are the building blocks of words and contribute to their overall meaning or grammatical structure. So what about the function? The morphemes they have a four function. They have expressing grammatical relationships, building new words, clarifying meaning, and the last maintaining sentence structure. Let's discuss about expressing grammatical relationships the first. So grammatical morphemes show the relationship between subject, verbs, and object or indicate time, number, aspect, and case. For the example, in he runs, there have the end s shows subject, verbs, argument in present tense. Next, for the building new words, morphemes help drive new words or alter meanings while training part of the original meaning. For the example, kind to kindness. For the ending ness, correct this on a noun. Next, for the clarifying meaning, the morpheme specify nuance such as negation, repetition, or intensity. For the example, unclear, the beginning and to show negation of clear. The last for the maintaining sentence structure, function words and inflectional morphemes are essential for proper sentence grammar. For the example, she has been working the auxiliary verbs has been helped from the present perfect continuous tense. Next, for the types of morphemes, the first one for based on structure, there have two. The first one, free morphemes, and then bound morphemes. So, definition for free morphemes, there are morphemes that can stand alone as a word and still carry meaning. They do not need to be attached to another morpheme to be understood. For the example, dog, they are a noun, run, they are a verb, happy, and adjective. And then for the function, free morphemes carry the core meanings of a word and can be used independently. They are the basic building block of a language. Next, the number two for bound morphemes. For the definition, they are morphemes that cannot stand alone and must attach to a free morpheme to form a word. They add grammatical or semantic meaning when combined with other morphemes. For the example, as plural marker in cats, the ending s, cats, and then the ending ed, past tense marker in worked, and then for the ending an, prefix in under or in the beginning, under, sorry, and then for the ending ness, suffix in happiness. For the function, bound morphemes can modify the meaning of a word or change its grammatical role, such as turning a verb into a noun or changing the tense of a verb. Next, based on function, there have two also. The first one, lexical morphemes. For the definition, these morphemes carry the core semantic meaning of a word. Lexical morphemes typical respect object, action, qualities, or concept. For the example, cat, they are noun and animal, and run, they are verb, an action, and beautiful, adjective, a quality. For the function, lexical morpheme from the content words of a language, nouns, verbs, and then adjective and adverbs also. They carry the primary meaning of the word. And the number two, grammatical morphemes. For the definition, grammatical morphemes serve to modify or clarify the structure of a sentence. They express relationship between words or and indicate grammatical features such as tense, number, or case. For the example, inflectional morphemes for the ending s, plural in cats, the ending ed, past tense in played, in the ending ing, present continuous in running, derivational morphemes, and also for the beginning an, negation in unhappy, for the ending ness, formations in happiness. And for the function words, the, and, on, he, they. For the functions to grammatical morphemes, they are grammatical morphemes provide grammatical structure such as tense, aspect, or pluralization. They are essential for constructing sentence with proper syntax and meaning. Next, so for subtypes of morpheme based on function, there have the first one, inflectional morphemes. The definition, these morphemes modify a word to express grammatical information such as tense, number, or case, but do not change the core meaning of the words. They are a type of grammatical morpheme. For the example, the ending s, plural, cats, ending ed, past tense, walked, the ending ing, progressive, running, the ending r, comparative, faster. Next, for the derivational morphemes, their definition, these morphemes create new words by either changing the meaning or the grammatical category or part of speech of a word. They can create nouns, adjective, verbs, and also for the examples, for the ending ness, nouns from adjective, happiness from happy, and then the beginning on, negation, under from do, the ending li, adverb from adjective, quickly from cake, quick. And for the ending er, again noon, teacher from teach. Next, the last for the function word, they are closed class words. For definition, these are grammatical morphemes that are not usually contact words but help in forming relationship between other words in a sentence. For the example, the, and, in, on, of, to, for, and then for a function, they include determiners, prepositions, conjunction, and auxiliary verbs, helping to link words together to form coherent sentence. All right, so that's all from me for explanation morphemes. There also have the definition, the types, the function, and also for the example. All right, that's all from me. So thank you so much, and I close with Paramasanti. Santi.